Howdy, welcome back to Dion Talk. Recently in one of my live streams, a question came up asking me about DSCR loans. And what I like to do is take a page out of Michael Zuber's book, From One Rental at a Time, where when he hasn't done something like house hacking, he has the lumberjack landlord come in. And when he hasn't done something like self-managing his rental portfolio, he has me come in. I've not used a DSCR loan or actually even looked up a lot of details on them. So in that live stream, I was not qualified to answer. I said that someday,
but not today,
I would have somebody, an actual expert, come on my channel and explain what a DSCR loan is. And I have a company, Convoy Mortgage, that I'm actually working with and have an offer in on properties now with a letter of pre-approval from them. So I have Dustin and Jonathan from Convoy Mortgage to explain to you what a DSCR loan is. So if you guys could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are fairly new, given the mortgage industry. They've been around for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. And the acronym stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. And what we essentially do is they're only for investment properties, okay? And the reason why we do so many of them is because of the ease and the ability for investors like yourself to buy an investment property without being hindered by the debt to income restrictions that you're probably used to dealing with when you go through a big retail bank. There is no personal income that is looked at. The underwrite process is simply looking at the property, estimating based on either an appraisal, if it's like a purchase, or if it's a refinance your current lease, using the rental amount that you're receiving. So with easy numbers, let's just say hypothetically, your rental property is receiving $5,000 a month, or the property you're looking to purchase will estimate to be receiving $5,000 a month. As long as the mortgage payment that you're getting into, now to get the best rate, you want to make sure that the mortgage payment is less than $5,000, right? So you can be cash flow positive. But even if it's not, like we have programs that'll go down as low as 65% or 0%. But the ratio, that debt service coverage ratio, the rent that you would be receiving from the property divided by the mortgage payment will determine your rate. If you're anything over 1 where you're cash flow positive, the rates that you could get on this product only like a quarter point higher than if you go with like a conventional 30-year Fannie Mae type product. So they're very popular. And, in terms of like the down payment flexibility, you can put less down as well to get them as long as it kind of cash flows positively. The amount that you need in reserves per se, it's for that specific property. Whereas if you're going through like a retail bank, right, it's for every property that you own that you need in reserves. We look at it as a business. When you're getting an investment property, is that business, that single property that you're buying, is that going to be something that will be cash flow positive? We don't look at anything else that you essentially own.
Okay, so let me go through, check the boxes on what an investor normally thinks of. Are you guys looking at the credit score of the investor?
Yes. So the great thing about this, like Dustin said, is it doesn't personally qualify an income. However, yes, we still check credit. Yes, credit history matters. And we can close in LLCs, but there's always going to be a personal guarantee that needs to be signed. So the individual is there for qualifying purposes, not as income, but as a personal guarantor of the loan you're securing.
Okay, so credit score, credit history is still checked. Your income doesn't matter because you're basing it on the income of the property.
Correct.
What about the person's work history?
That does not matter as well because we're not checking income.
That's beautiful. That's what I was looking for. Was I run into a lot of new investors who have either just graduated college, have the money to invest, but don't have the work history, changed careers. I run a truck driving school, so a lot of the people I interact with are coming out of the military, and this is a new field, or coming out of prison, or coming out of college and driving a truck. So that's a great problem to solve. Your work history doesn't matter. The person's income was a barrier to a friend of mine, and so that would have been taken out of the equation. So we have credit score, credit history, they do matter. Your work history, your income don't matter. The performance of the property matters. And then you said something that I think I really like. you don't require the purchase to be done in an LLC. It can be done in an LLC with a personal guarantee, but you don't require it.
Correct.
That's correct. Okay. I actually have a video on my channel. Feel free to check it out. It's my LLC rant. And it's my actual list of reasons why you probably don't need an LLC to invest in real estate, and why often it's actually a bad idea to have one, depending on things like, are you using hard money, or do you have partners and want to protect yourself from their mistakes? But for things like tax benefits, which there are none, and asset protection, which there is none unless you have partners, there's often not a reason to have an LLC. So it's kind of cool to find a loan product that lets me continue to operate without an LLC. That's great. I love the idea of DSCR loans. I think you guys have explained it really well. If anybody has questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll forward them to Dustin and Jonathan. If somebody wants to get a hold of you guys, how can they reach out and do that?
Feel free to email private.client@convoyhomeloans.com. And also, if you want, go on our website and there's a web form you can fill out that also goes directly to Dustin and myself, and we'll reach out personally.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So far, I haven't used any DSCR loans. I will someday.
But not today.
Where are you from the 5 unit, by the way?
That's what a DSCR is for that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that is today then. Awesome. All right. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.